people ask me why I got into this business. Really, in the beginning, it was a hobby. I was just a citizen activist, and I thought we needed more citizen journalists because the mainstream media was garbage at what they are doing. And guess what? They're still garbage to this day. It's very important to do what we do. You know, this boots on the ground journalism or commentary or whatever you want to call it is so much more important than the armchair journalist you see out there on an everyday basis, especially in the mainstream media. If you look at the mainstream media, especially when you look at Fox News, you'll see them constantly talking about things that are very divisive. A team versus B team, red team versus blue team, like Jesse Waters out there. And, you know, Jesse Waters is in the face of Fox. Since Tucker Carlson's gone away, I think they've been pushing more of him and Greg Gutfeld to try to take the lead and kind of fill that void that was left behind by Tucker Carlson. And when you're on Fox over the last 2 days, all you will constantly see is this over here. Immigrants, migrants, the ones they're scared about more than anything. You know, and that's something we were able to talk about today as far as migrants and why they come to the border and how we should look and assess them. Jesse Waters can't stop talking about this incident right over here. The way they're kind of framing these immigrants, the illegal immigrants, as like they like to say on Fox, beating up police officers at a rally the other day. What is that supposed to mean? And then him flicking us off. And he says, giving the middle finger to America. What message is he sending there, Jesse Waters? Is he saying with the rest of his colleagues at Fox that because of these illegal immigrants or undocumented workers or whatever you want to call them, since they're a police officer, then all migrants are that way? That all people undocumented coming in are dangerous, are criminals, are thugs, are going to give the FU to America? Is that the message they're trying to say? Because I know I've lived in California for many years of my life, my adult life, and I've met so many here that are just some of the most awesome people in the world, on the planet. You know, not only have I worked with them in restaurants and other avenues, other jobs I've had, but I've sat down at the dinner table with them and broke bread with them. And a lot of the migrants I met, whether you agree they should be in this country or not, are some of the nicest people in the world. I think the majority of them I met are some of the nicest people in the world. They don't want to cause any problems. They don't want to cause any static. They just want to make money to send back home to feed their family and maybe one day retire back in their own home life where they came from because the conditions are so bad from what we talked about today. So this rhetoric right over here from Jesse Waters is really all about keeping people divided. Then you have the Democrats along with the Republicans. You see right here a sad situation. The faces of the soldiers that were lost from the drone attack in Syria, on Jordan, on the border of Syria. Now, instead of saying that it's really sad, and it is sad that any time any life is taken, but what about the lives of American-made weapons from Western weapons in Gaza, in the Ukraine, and all around the planet? It's almost 100,000 people a year are killed by Western-made weapons, and that was a statistic I took several years ago before everything popped off even more. And it's sad that these 3 soldiers lost their life because what's not being talked about, and this is talked about on mainstream media as they are preparing us to go into another world war, as they show Biden and the casket and all this right here, tapping into the emotions of the American people to try to get them okay and justified manufacturing consent to go to war in a world war. What's sad is the fact they don't talk about why these kids had to go into the military in the first place. Our system itself. The fact that we don't have a working economy, we don't have any industry here anymore that can actually support and build a middle. Things are worse now for our generation than they were our parents' generation. And that's the problem out there. Our mainstream media is doing what they've always done, keeping us divided, keeping us pitted at each other's throats. That's why I started this show. That's why I started doing this and doing what I've been doing for quite some time now, almost 7 years, from your help. So I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, that we really do appreciate when you come over here and you watch these shows and just understand what the mainstream media is out there to do. Keep the people divided. Keep us fighting and at each other's throats.